question we're getting asked, like given the current situations of what's going on, a lot of people are looking at potentially pulling back budgets, whether it's cross search, whether it's social. People are looking at kind of pulling budgets. What is it as simple as just pulling budgets down? Like, what's the kind of impact? What do people need to take into consideration if they start to pull back on their spend?
Yeah, I guess there's a couple of ways to answer it. If it is, I mean, firstly, if why you're pulling back is one thing. Like, if you're pulling back just because you're panicking and you're thinking consumers don't want to see your ads, I think that's one question that we'll park and come back to. But if you're just talking about like you have to pull back ads because you haven't got stock, or for whatever reason is you cannot sell your product at this time, one thing to bear in mind, if you're using smart bidding, like if your volume drops to a certain amount, like if you're just pulling back, if your volume drops to a certain amount, your smart bidding will no longer function like it does usually if you fall below the minimum limit of conversions that you need. So if you are pulling back, it might be worth considering moving over to manual bidding for the time being,
Right.
which is a shame. Like some of our accounts that are using smart bidding working really well, I would see that as a risk personally. I'd be worried about that because the smart bidding is working really, really well. And if you suddenly start to strangle that and move it back over to manual CPC, then you sort of lose a lot of that traction that you built up over time. So that's one thing to consider. I mean, the bigger question about like why you're pulling back. If you're pulling back because you're panicking because it's an unknown period, I would sort of advise against that. I think like as much as possible, we have to act as though it is business as usual, although consumers know that it's not business as usual. So if you're putting out the same ads, the same activity, everything exactly the same, that's probably not the right approach. But pivoting what you do slightly. Sorry, my washing machine's really loud.
Nice t-shirt, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Prince, my favourite. RIP. Where was I? What was I saying? Yeah, if you're pulling back spend because you think customers don't want to see your ads, then I think that's incorrect. I think customers want to carry on seeing ads. They want brands that they know and like to still be communicating with them. I think they want to be seeing slightly different messages. They probably also want to be seeing that you care, and just sending an email saying you cared, I don't think is enough because everyone's done that now. And it kind of, so many people have done it and it's nice, but it's like, it's not probably everything that you need to do. I think showing that you care, like for example, Brewdog making like the hand sanitizer and delivering food to people with their beer truck, stuff like that is really meaningful stuff that they should be advertising and should be telling their customers, because that's going to carry on building that brand loyalty. And actually, even if you can't, we were talking about not being able to sell your stuff anymore, it's probably just as important, even if you can't sell, to use some of your time, whether it's through your email, whether it's through PPC even, and paid social and organic social for that matter. Like, it's important to still be getting these messages in front of your customers to let them know like what you are doing at this time.
Yeah, no, completely agree. It's good to get your thoughts. Like we said, the overarching feeling is that people still want to be seeing what brands are doing, so still advertising. Don't knee jerk and just pull everything. If you are going to reduce things, just have a look at it sensibly. Be led by the data.
Yeah, I think as well, if data has shown like worrying signs over the past couple of weeks, I do think it's going to turn around soon. I think people are adjusting to being at home now. They're adjusting to the new normal that is like these kind of daily scary updates with this thing, but we're all kind of learning to cope with it a little bit better, I think. And I think business will kind of go back to as normal as it can at the moment. I think people will start buying again. Like, I don't know when this video you're going to put this up, Luke, but it's payday yesterday to the end of this week. Like, so hopefully you put it up this week. But this is like the first weekend. Well, I guess weekends don't make a difference anymore, but people are being paid and they're looking forward to a month when they're not going to be going out drinking as much. They're not going to be going to the theatre and to pubs and restaurants. Like, so people are going to have more disposable income. So that's another big thing. I think if you have seen shaky results over the past couple of weeks, I'm expecting / hoping that the next week or two will be much stronger.
I must say before I go, Marcus, I must admire your beard that's coming along.
Thanks. Like it's not quite yours yet, but I'm getting there. People always like to make a comment that I'm the brother without a beard, so I'm trying to put that right.
Yeah, you might come out of this quarantine with a bigger beard than me, but we'll see. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
Susanna,
appreciate that,
Susanna hates it. Susanna hates it, but I'm powering through.
mate.
So,
No, I appreciate it.
right.
Thanks for your thoughts, and yeah, we'll chat in a bit.
That's
Ciao.
all right. Peace.
Cheers,
Bye.
mate. Bye, bye.